So I'm super happy. This week is the first week of the series. So I'm nervous. This has been by far one of the hardest things I have ever done, because every little detail I'm doing by myself, and it is, the whole visual design process is very hard. It's much harder than I thought it was. I finally got to a point where I've pretty much perfected it. But when you're doing everything on the computer, there's always some minuscule detail that's off, usually for me. But I'm super excited. I feel like I'm walking with purpose. I am doing something that I'm passionate about. I'm bringing my passion into my work. I used to want to go into education, which education still has a big part of my heart, honestly, because I had such a great experience. Yes, nursing school was hard, but my school was so, supportive and helpful, that I wanted students to have that same experience that I did, because a lot of students don't. Yes, it was hard, but I had the support. I could go to my instructors and be like, bro, what even is this? I had the support. So when I was, after my bachelor's, when I was trying to decide on what I wanted to master in, because I thought I wanted to do education, but unfortunately I'm not married and there's nobody to take care of me. So taking a pay cut from being a floor nurse to going down to being an educator, no, I can't. There's nobody to pay my bills for me. It's just me. I carry myself. So yeah, if I was a PRN princess, and my husband was taking care of me and taking care of the bills, and all I had to worry about was me and maybe my car, and if that was the case, then for sure I would have went into education. But that wasn't the case for me. I unfortunately have to work for a living and make decent money, because the cost of living is extremely high, and now gas is $6. So thank God I didn't go that route. But I still had this need to teach, so I started doing clinicals with students on the weekends. Loved that experience. Loved it. Loved teaching them. Loved creating the bond with them. Loved putting them in situations where they could learn their skills. Loved recapping. Loved trying to drag where I need their minds to be at. Loved it. Okay, loved it so much I'm gonna do it again next term. And I really was just about to go back to school for my FNP to be dual certified, so that if I ever wanted to open my own practice later down the line, that would be beneficial. But I signed up for, got accepted. First of all, let's talk about how I got accepted into this FNP program. I submitted my application late because the admissions people weren't forwarding my information to who I needed to, and I had questions I told them, but I still got accepted, even though it got accepted. I applied late or whatever. I found my own pre-site. I had everything lined up, and then the reality hit me was, how am I gonna pay for this? Because I didn't know this, but I learned it, so I'm gonna teach somebody else, and hopefully somebody else can learn from my mistakes. After your master's, unless you're going for a doctorate, if you're doing a certification program, which FNP is a certification program, you have to figure out how to pay for that, because financial aid is not doing it. And I didn't mind paying. I knew I was paying out of pocket. I had it all in my mind. I made up my mind that I was paying out of pocket. No problem. Sorry, y'all. I'm on the highway. No problem. It was no problem until I saw how much my certification class was, tuition, all the things. I'm sorry, I don't have $3,500, $4,000 to pay each term. Now, if that was the price for the entire certification program, since it's just a certification, no core classes, okay, I could do that. But you want 12 bands for the whole certification program? Yeah, no, I can't do that. Not me. Once again, if I had a husband who would take care of me, absolutely. But I don't have that. Nobody's paying my bills for me. So, I had to withdraw, which I was disappointed about because I did all the steps. I'm talking all my forms, my physical, my labs, all of the things. And then I made a decision that it's not financially feasible for me. Now, she said I can come back. Like, my seat, I have until next summer. And if I wanted to rejoin the program, I can. So that's an option for me. But when I really started reflecting on it, I don't think I like my job. I love psych, okay? I get to talk to people for a living, and yes, it can be emotionally draining. It can. But for the most part, overall, I love psych, okay? Every day is different. Every patient is different. No treatment plan that I use for somebody over there is necessarily going to work for somebody over here. Psych is fun, okay? Some patients absolutely adore me. They tell me I'm their girl. You feel me? Like, I'm very real. So it's like my personality mixed with my education and my passion, it makes me relatable. And patients love that. And there are some patients who tell me I got my degree from a Cracker Jack box. Now, do I personally feel that way? No. Does my degree and my licensure say that? No, but everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But I love psych. Also, I worked bedside for like 7 years. 7 years. I think I'm going on my eighth year. Yeah, 7 years. Actually, more than 7 years, because I was an aide before I became a nurse, and I was an aide for 2 years. I was an aide while I was in nursing school. Baby, I have no desire to work bedside. I have no desire to touch anybody. I got zero desire to do that. So, yes, the extra letters at the end of my name would look spectacular on my white coat. Absolutely. If I ever get to the point where I just, I would just want to collect certifications, then sure. But am I going to utilize that degree? That certification? Am I going to utilize that specialty? I don't think I will, because I don't want to work in a doctor's office setting. Yes, I miss the skill aspects of like primary care or acute care. I miss my skills. I enjoyed doing that type of work, but it burnt me out really bad doing that. But also, like, I like the fact that, I go in, I'm either going to sit down with you, I'm going to stand, depending on the comfortability of the patient or in safety of the situation. But, like, baby, if a patient tell me they don't feel like talking to me today, okay, I respect it. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just, can I hit you with the basics? Are you doing okay? How's everything going? Do you feel like you're met or you're stable? Like, just give me the basics and, baby, I get about your way. I like that. With primary care, them people come into you because they got something wrong. Like, I don't think it's for me. I knew FNP wasn't for me. That's why I didn't go that route originally. Even though most of my experience is medical. Love medical. I love neuro. Not a fan of cardiac. Love neuro. Love urology. Loved PACU. Loved endo. Loved IR. Like, loved the ICU. Loved the skills. But that burnout on my body and my mind, and sprinkle a little bit of night shift on the top, I couldn't do it anymore, which is why I went psych. I worked as a residential inpatient nurse for kids, boys, and them kids was so funny. Like, I loved them kids because they'd get you together real quick. Not me, because I was pulled here and I wasn't there all the time, so it was like they kind of treated me like a celebrity, like, oh, Miss Kiara's here, Miss Kiara's here, where you been? So yeah, I loved them kids though. Every now and then I would have a kid that would try me, like, all right, now how about you go sit your little booty down, you fix whatever is wrong with this attitude right here, and then when you're ready, you come back and you see me, because right now this isn't what we're doing. This one kid said, no, you can't refuse me my meds. He turned it up on me, okay? And I said, and once again, when you correct your attitude, you can come back over here, you can get your meds. But right now, you won't get to the back of that line until you fix your attitude. Because I don't know who you talking to. Like, you gotta be stern. Like, that's perfect. Like, that's tough love. Like, that's my idea of when I'm in the ICU, when I'm being tough on my patients. That it's the same thing with a different concept. And you gotta get with them kids, okay? These kids these days, these kids, but they don't care what you're talking about. They don't care what you're talking about. You gotta approach the table demanding respect with these kids. But nonetheless, I love those kids, okay? Loved them. That was a fun job. Loved those kids. Now, I didn't end up working with kids though, because that wasn't the opportunity that was given to me. But now that I'm no longer working with kids, I love my job. I love talking to old people all day. Love talking to old people all day. They are funny, baby. You can say the facility reports to me that patient doesn't want to come out of the room for activities, yada, 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 yada. So I go in and I talk to them, whatever, and at the end of my conversation, they tell me everything is fine, blah, blah, blah. I always bring the facility concerns up to the patient so that there's no confusion. This was reported to me. Give me your side, okay? Most of these patients that do not come out for activities, one, they're loners. I ask them, like, were you kind of a loner in your past life? The answer is usually yes. But the second most common thing that they have to say is, why do I need to come out? And there's nothing going on out there that I would enjoy. And what can I say to that? They're offering you bingo. Most older people love bingo. Most people will come out for bingo. But arts and crafts, they're grown. I'm not doing arts and crafts every day at 30. So why would I want to do it every day at 60, 70, 80 years old? No, I don't want to do arts and crafts. Bowling, some people like that. And the outings they like going grocery shopping and stuff like that. Like, those things they like. But all that arts and crafts and let's color and all that, they don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. Now, bring out a baking activity, them little old ladies will eat that up. Because when I worked in memory care, Kiara, back when I was a CNA, I made a box cake for my residents one day because I was working in activities. Baby, them patients may not have known their last name, they full name, but they knew when I made a box cake. They taught me how to cook. Like, they taught me how to bake. Like, that's where my baking skills came from. I came out of there baking everything. That's why I'm fat now. I love sweets. Like, I love psych. I love dementia patients. One day they hate you, the next day they love you. I think that psych is my calling. And so now that I've come to this place in my life where, those of you who know me, I went viral when COVID happened because I was a clown. I was a nursing clown, okay? And I thrived in that type of chaos. Like, I loved being relatable because we was in the trenches during COVID. And everybody wanted to act like we was healthcare heroes, okay? No. Y'all sacrificed us. Let's call it what it is. Y'all sacrificed us. We was the sacrifice. And now I'm no longer a hero. Now I'm not even considered a professional, okay? But I went viral because they said I was funny. Whatever. But the things I was doing now, then, don't necessarily align with my core values now and the path that I'm walking. I'm getting closer in my faith. I'm going to church. I'm going to Bible study. I'm praying. I'm trying to read the word. Like, I want to live how I'm supposed to be living. Okay, so I've been asking God to change my heart. Show me what I'm supposed to be doing. And this concept of, you know, education once again fell in my lap. And so instead of ignoring the vision or ignoring the path God has been telling me it's for me for years now, I listened. And so the outcome of that, like, is so rewarding. Like, looking at it, I can't even stop looking at the page because it's so rewarding. It's so aesthetically pleasing. I really have outdone myself. Like, I've outdone myself. Like, it's aesthetically pleasing. But God been telling me I loved education for a long time. And the fact that now I'm walking in my purpose, I'm walking on that path now while still doing what I love, though. The fact that I can find balance between the two is phenomenal. So it's like I'm filled with joy. I'm very happy. Like, I'm very happy. Reflecting back, like I've been telling a lot of people, like, you know, I'm 30 now. So, you know, at 30 it's that point in your life where it's like, wow, I'm not in my 20s anymore. I'm kind of young. I'm kind of old, but I'm young. The kids think I'm old, though. And mixed in, I'll be shouting at the church, and I'm the TTs now. Like, so I'm at this place of reflecting on my life, and the journey has been very beautiful. I would not change a thing. Everything I've been through made me who I am today, put me on the path that I'm on today. And so I'm super grateful for all of the support, really. Like, everybody, my people have been very supportive. Now, do I feel like, you know, some people are not as supportive? I won't say not supportive, but it's like, I guess I'm a girl's girl. So I'm reposting everything. You feel me? You got a business, I got you. You got something going on, I got you. Like, and you don't have to ask. I'm just gonna repost it. You know where somebody can get a job at? This post jobs for fail. I'm reposting it, whether it applies to me or not, because I'm gonna support somebody else with it. That's just who I am. That's who I am. But I have to recognize that everybody is not that way. Everybody does not think the way that I think. So, eventually, it is a slow process. I have to get out of the concept of, well, when I went viral the last time, it got X, Y, and Z followers and endorsements, yada, yada, yada. It wasn't this hard. No, it wasn't this hard. Because, one, TikTok was new then. So, like, there was no paying for your algorithm, paying for your post to be more seen. There was none of that back then. It was just, if you was funny, you was going viral. People was going to follow you. Now it's a little bit different. But also, I had to sit back and I had to think about it. I'm not doing a lot of the things that I was doing. Like, cussing and rapping and using Cardi B's lyrics and popping off or showing my butt. I'm not doing any of those things. They don't align with me anymore. Cussing out, I'm not doing that anymore. That doesn't align with who I am now. And now that I'm a provider, I have to change. Not necessarily change myself, but I gotta walk and act a certain way. Like, especially as a black woman, I have to change my walk. Because, baby, they gonna find something to report you about. Like, they gonna find anything to get you out of a job. And that's just my personal experience. Now, I feel very supported and very loved by my company. Like I said, I was with them as a student. So, like, they got the student care, and I've grown into what I've grown into. But I already have piercings. I have tattoos everywhere. I have color, a little bit of color in my hair. I'm the definition of, I won't say definition, but I'm black. I have a very big personality presence, and I don't even have to open my mouth. So it's like, if I'm going to be all these things and I'm going to stand outside of those check boxes that they typically like or they typically see, I have to behave myself. So I'm no longer aligned with those types of things that made me go viral and made me popular or like the last time. So it is very different. But I feel like this is the start of my brand. I want to teach. I don't want to post just, generic nursing tips and tricks and flips. And I don't want to do all of that. I want to teach what I've learned over the last year, and in my experience as a healthcare professional. I want to tell you what I learned and what I had to figure out so that somebody else don't have to figure that out, because I've made many mistakes. Not anything that harmed anybody, but I'm talking about, like, I've been dismissed from jobs. I've been told that I need to tune it. I need to act this way, and I don't. Like, I'm very vocal with my providers. I've been not brought back to a facility because I'm passionate about my patients, and I'm not going to apologize for being passionate for my patients. But I'm grown enough to acknowledge the fact that my approach, my tone, those types of things were loud and unnecessary. In that thought process, like in the moment, like I can tell that I'm growing a lot. Like I don't respond as quickly anymore. I'm not quick to get upset anymore. Like if I am upset, I'm quiet because I don't want to say anything I don't mean or come out of my character because somebody has made me upset. Like I don't want to do that. I can vocalize myself for I can vocalize for my patients and advocate for my patients and everything without coming out of my character. Actually, you earn more respect with restraint, because you could get low with that person. But I've been choosing to, I'm going to point out your behavior to you and how you are being inappropriate. I'm going to maintain my character. I'm going to point out how you are being inappropriate and being nasty and being, so that you can go reflect on your behavior and realize, okay, that young lady was right. Like, ooh. Like, I want to do that. I want somebody to learn from my wrongs, because I've had a lot of them. My walk to this point here was not easy, but I made it. And so that's the purpose I want. I want people to better understand the DSM-5. That book is boring. And I do not learn that way. In the book, this thick, and the words is this little. Listen, I'm trying to make it easy. I want everybody to win. I really do. I don't care who you are. I don't even care if we didn't like each other in a past life. If you want to take the route that I took, or you want to learn something about nursing, or you just care about mental health at all, you can message me. I tell people all the time. People ask me if I'm taking new patients all the time, and I'm not. My caseload is full. But I am a great listener. If anybody just needs to chat, like you need to get something off your chest, or you got a question about X, Y, and Z, I just like to educate. There was this nurse that I used to work with, and she used to tell me all the time, Kiara, you always trying to educate somebody. That's your thing, miss. And I am. Because if I can teach you something, I'm going to teach it. Now, if you take it, that's up to you. But I'm going to teach it so that I know that I taught you to do it right. I ain't teach you to do it wrong. And also, I know that I taught you. So if you go around and you doing it wrong, it's because you did not apply the information. Because you was taught. I say that all the time. People love to say that, oh, I wasn't taught that. Yes, you were. Yes, you were. My students, Oh, my students, they used to burn me up with them. I hope they're doing okay. It's summer break for them, so I meant to text them and tell them, like, y'all too quiet in this group text. Like, did y'all pass? Like, what's up? Like, why y'all what's up? But I didn't get around to it. I probably will do that today. But my students used to grind me up, because why do I have to repeat the exact same thing every single week? Charting. I chart like I'm going to court. Okay, like somebody gonna pull me up in the court. That's how I chart. Because as you know, or you might not know, in healthcare, something goes wrong, even if it's somebody else's orders that you're following, the nurse is getting in trouble. It's rare to see a physician get in trouble. Rare. It's the nurse's fault, because we were taught, so we know better. Even if we know that provider ordered that and they stick it to their guns, if you give it, you're in trouble. Okay, so that's how I practice. I practice as if I'm going to court. I'm not charting within defined limits, because what are those? What are defined limits? So if I do put within defined limits, WDL, for those who don't know what that abbreviation is, I'm also still going to fill out everything I assessed while in that category. I'm going to fill out my pulses. I'm going to fill out that I looked at their pupils. I'm going to fill out that they follow commands and were strengthened and how strong they were. I'm going to chart all of that, even if they're completely normal. Because what is normal? And then let's say I go back at 12 and the assessment is different. The patient had a decline. Well, I can't reflect back on my last assessment. I mean, I can. But I can't reflect back on my last assessment and be like, oh, well, they were 4+ at this time and now they're 2+. No, because I didn't chart it. No, I don't chart like that. No. Or let's say something goes wrong with a patient. Their assessment is different or whatever. And I go and I tell the doctors, whatever, and then we do all the workup. We do all the things. Well, months later down the line, the family has questions. The family wants to know why X, Y, and Z wasn't done earlier. Okay, because the one, they have that right, but two, everybody wants to scream healthcare negligence. Okay, that's the thing. Not saying that there aren't certain cases, but yeah. Well, if I get called into court and they ask, now months have gone by, I've taken care of thousands of patients by now, okay? And they ask me what my assessment was, baby, I don't know. Do you know how many patients I take care of? So if I put that in the chart, I have nothing to pull for facts on my assessment, because I didn't specify what I saw the first time. I didn't specify what I saw when I saw that patient. That's how they get you. Because you can't say you wrote within defined limits. Them jurors don't know what that means. They don't work in healthcare. They gonna find somebody off the street that don't know what you're talking about. That's why you got, I remember one of my teachers telling me this, you got to chart like a dummy is reading it. You got to chart like a dummy is reading it. A child needs to be able to read it and be able to figure out what you're talking about. Because if they cannot, that means you are not explaining it well. You are not charting as if I'm going to court. My students played in my face every week until the last couple of weeks. The last couple of weeks, they finally got it, because I told them, I said, we're going to start staying over till 5 until y'all get it right. There's no way that I'm repeating the same thing. I've showed y'all how to open them up. I've showed you how to chart. I've showed you what I want. I've told you what I want. I've written it down for you what I want. Why are you still playing with me? Or the fact that, we get there at 7. We start clinical at 7 o'clock, okay? If I ask you at 10, are you ready for me to check your charting? And you tell me I haven't charted yet? How? when you have one patient that you have a chart on? Well, I was doing X, Y, and Z, and I was... No, you handle what you're required to do first, which is your charting for your one patient. By 10, 11 o'clock, because even if I gave them, like, say we did team nursing or whatever, even by, if I get there, I start my shift at 7 o'clock as a floor nurse. By 11:15, my morning med pass should be finished. Okay, which means I should have had the time by now. I can sit down and write and chart my stuff. Now, I am an advocate. Charting does come last. Okay, patient care comes first. Charting comes last. I agree with that. But as a student, in order for me to say that you know what you're doing in that system, you know what you're looking for, your head to toe looks good, you only have one patient. There's no reason you shouldn't have nothing charted by 10 o'clock. And then you had the nerve to one, not charted? Yeah. But when I go in there, it's all wrong, or you're missing 4 or 5 health systems. What? And don't even get me started on you're charting on things you didn't do. Did you do a 4-eye assessment? No, because those are only done on assessment, on initial intake. Did you grab the Doppler and listen to their pulses? No, you felt, oh, okay. The dressing is intact on some, the dressing's not there? How? Oh, well, you know, we can't flush, we can't do IV care yet because we haven't been checked off. No, but you can assess the site. Come on now. Come on. In the beginning, yeah, okay, I'm going to give you a pass because you don't know what I'm looking for, but we halfway through the semester and you still not, bruh. I was telling him, I was like, don't stress me out. Don't stress me out. Don't turn in your clinical homework if you didn't put no effort into it. Just don't do it. Just say, hey, Kiara, can I email you this later? Because I didn't have X, Y, and Z was going on. I was studying, blah, 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 blah. My kid was sick. Whatever. That's fine. I'd rather you tell me that than to write some BS and expect I'm about to read it. Because if I had to take my time to read it and give you my feedback, I need you to put effort into it. Yes, I understand that you don't want to do it. Yes, I also felt that back then it was busy work. I felt the same way when I was in school. Mind you, I was in the same program they in. I felt the same way. Now, looking back, as a seasoned nurse and a provider, it's to help me get my train of thought right, my critical thinking skills. That's what it's for. It's to help you grasp the concept and lock them in. That's the point. Don't give me no BS. Just don't do it. Because I don't want to read it. And I'm not going to. I'm going to tell you to. I'm going to write on it probably, what is this? Or, bruh, be serious. I'm very real. I told them that, though. I'm very real. I'm very, very real. Okay? Don't waste my time. I said that. I was like, don't waste my time. If you don't want to be here, you don't have to be here. You don't want to do the work, you don't have to do the work. I already got my degree. I'm just trying to help y'all. You feel me? Okay? You want to get your license and everything, and then you want to lose it because you don't know how to chart. That's up to you. I'm okay. I'm going to fix your charting if it's wrong. Because I'm the co-signer. So nothing under my name is going to be wrong. No. Of course I'm looking. Of course I'm going to push you. Because when you move on to next term, you think I'm about to have that next instructor or clinical instructor think that I wasn't pushing you to be the best you can be in this term? No, they better not embarrass me next semester. They better not. Or I'll be seeing them. I'll be in the class like this. Now, who said that they didn't get taught that? Because, yeah, you did. I was tough on my students. But it was what was best for them. Like, you know, I'm second semester. I don't know if I will be next term, but I'm second semester. So first semester is fundamentals, baby. That's light work. Second semester, it's time to get busy. It's time to get busy. It's time to learn. It's time to do new skills. It's time to seek out experiences. It's time to learn. Because, baby, I don't want you to be like me, like when I graduated, and be completely clueless. I said that when I graduated, too. I was in the ICU, and I'm like, dang, did I even go to nursing school? Like, what even is this? I said that. I don't want students to be bamboozled like how I was, because that was buffoonery. Straight up buffoonery when I graduated. Because what is this? So I teach my students the real, okay? Because I don't want them to be confused. I don't want them to think that nursing is an aesthetic, okay? This is the trenches. Okay, now when you get up to this level, it's not the trenches no more. But that bedside nursing, baby, that's the hood. Because you gonna work. You are going to hump. You hear me? They be like, oh, Kiara, can we get breakfast? Do you think these nurses up here are getting breakfast? Do you think that baby, we hardly have time for a pee break, okay? You know how many of us forget to use the restroom? Oh, Kiara, can we stay down here for lunch a little bit longer? Baby, be grateful you got 30 minutes. Okay? We don't do that. I do this thing called a working lunch, okay? Like, this ain't, hey baby, it's the back. I'm trying to prepare them for the real, because with me, I thought it was, oh, I just graduated. I'm not an aide anymore. I passed my boards. I had a big girl job. Oh, I ain't wiping. I ain't cleaning nobody up no more. And baby, I got schooled really quick. Baby, I cleaned up more poop as an ICU nurse in neuro than I did as an aide. And if you're a neuro person, you get that statement. Okay. Also, they don't teach you that there are no aides in the ICU. There's no text in there. What? Baby, what? I got real strong in there. You hear me? Lifting them patients. And then they can't help you. Because if they like it, they sedated, intubated, and restrained. They're not helping you. So that's today's episode. I am going to post this. Today is medication. I got off topic. I started teaching. Today is Medication Monday. And I'm probably going to post it like 6 o'clock because it's Monday and none of us going to be here. So I ain't going to give you nothing to learn. And I'm not in the mood. So I know ain't nobody else in the mood. I'm not in the mood. It's Monday. It just feels like the weekends ain't enough for me. That's why I do miss that part of bedside nursing. I miss my 312s. Even though I was always picking up, I miss that. Because, baby, this Monday through Friday is hard. Because 2 days ain't enough for a reset. But I'm done talking. I feel like I've been talking to y'all for 40 minutes because I have been talking for 40 minutes. This one is, I'm probably going to post the full thing on YouTube, but I'll put a shorter version so that y'all can go follow on YouTube. My YouTube is the same thing as the Instagram page, PsychiatryWithKiara. You'll see my little half face, my little girl, and I'll also be posting like the slides on there too, for those who would like to watch the slides. I think the videos are more so going to be me talking, breaking down some things that I'm thinking about. Like today I'm just happy that I finally am walking with my purpose. So today's video is on that, but it is Medication Mondays. where we talk about different medications, things you should look for, and, you know, this medication versus this medication. It's that kind of breakdown. So I hope y'all like it. Like, follow, repost, and share. Follow me on the YouTube. Follow me on the Instagram. Follow me on the Facebook. Follow me on TikTok. TikTok is the only one that's not Psychiatry with Kiara yet. It's Kiara Nicole, because I changed my name to Kiara Nicole when I first made the TikTok, before I decided that I was going with Psychiatry with Kiara. And I can't change it until June, so hopefully nobody takes it being funny acting. But y'all stay blessed and have a beautiful day.